Welcome back to the studio. You're watching Eye on Africa here on France 24. I'm Shona Bhattacharya. Let's take a look at our top stories in this edition. Leaving khat producers hanging, Somalia has banned the popular narcotic plant, leaving growers and sellers in Kenya without a livelihood. Our correspondents traveled to the country's Meru region, where 95% of the world's khat production is grown. Warning of, quote, sustained instability. Gabon's opposition leader Jean Ping predicts more volatility if the Constitutional Court doesn't go through with its recount as he has requested. Ali Bongo won the August 27th election by a razor-thin margin. And the African Diaspora Film Festival opens this Friday in Paris. It's the 6th time the festival is coming to the City of Light. Earlier this evening, we spoke to Rachelle Salnave, whose documentary film La Belle Vie, The Good Life is in the lineup. A surprise ban in Somalia that could have big consequences in Kenya. Somalian authorities halted khat imports this week, a decision that has gone unexplained. Khat is a plant narcotic, a popular stimulant in Eastern Africa and parts of the Arabian Peninsula. Doctors say it can lead to psychosis and paranoia if chewed too frequently. But growers are worried about losing their livelihoods. Our correspondents report from Kenya's Meru region that produces most of the world's khat.
Each morning, merchants in Mao City must sell the khat they've collected overnight before it rots. But the ban on imports by Somalia has paralyzed trade. Vendors have already seen revenues plummet. The shortfall is massive, 90,000 euros per day.
It's not good for us. In fact, even our children, they cannot learn, draw education, even food. It's a major problem if there is no market, Mera market.
On plantations, growers continue their work but have little hope of selling their crop. Jeremiah loses 100 euros daily, a sizable sum in the region.
Our local market here is very, very small. So unless we get that local market outside the country, which actually we have a lot of Mera in this country. So without established markets, then we really cannot do so much.
To reassure the producers, the Kenyan government has sent representatives to the county and has organized meetings.
I would like to ask the task force to assist us in coming up with other mechanisms of surviving.
But for now, the reason behind the ban is unclear.
At the moment, we have not come up with a solution. We have come when we are collecting data. After we collect the data, we are going to analyze it.
Given the lack of action by authorities, those in the Meru region are worried. When the UK banned the plant in 2014, the county was hard hit, and a permanent ban in Somalia could be the final blow.
Deploying a new weapon against civilians in northeastern Nigeria, aid groups as well as the United Nations say Boko Haram is starving the population. According to the UN's Assistant Secretary General, nearly 250,000 children in the region are severely malnourished, and millions more are thought to be starving in refugee camps that are too dangerous for aid agencies to reach. Rising prices amid Nigeria's ongoing recession mean markets filled with foodstuffs are out of reach for millions of refugees. Warning of, quote, profound and sustained instability. Gabon's opposition leader Jean Ping has filed a demand for a recount of the August 27th vote. According to the Election Commission, Ping lost the vote to President Ali Bongo by less than 6,000 ballots. EU observers say they found anomalies in the Otogwe province, where Ping is demanding a recount, a demand backed by France. For a closer look at the situation on the ground, France 24 Zigoto Chaya reports from Libreville.
After having deposited a complaint yesterday, September 8, 2016, at the Constitutional Court, urging for a recount of the votes, province of Haute-Togwe, ballot after ballot, Jean Ping requests and is still calling for international community and the observers to be part of the counting process. because, according to him, he wants to avoid frauding again. It should be pointed out that some of Xi Jinping's supporters are actually not confident in the recounting process because they say the president of the Constitutional Court, Marie-Madeleine Borontou, is a relation to Ali Bongo. Meanwhile, while Gabonese are trying to regain and to re-establish their activities, they are also waiting for the next 15 days for the Constitutional Court to declare a result that will help to shape the Gabonese future. Others would say that Xi Jinping's hope to be president of the Republic of Gabon after the recounting is likened to an ultimate journey to nowhere.
Blaming South Sudan's government for deadly violence in July. According to a confidential UN report, President Salva Kiir and Army Chief of Staff Paul Malong directed the fighting that killed hundreds of people. The UN panel of experts who wrote the report concluded that given the use of Mi-24 attack helicopters in coordination with ground forces, the operation could not be reasonably blamed on rogue elements. In the end, the report calls for imposing an immediate arms embargo on South Sudan. Suspected jihadists are being blamed for 3 deaths in Mali. The Malian troops were killed after being ambushed in the center of the country near the town of Boni as they were escorting a convoy from Gao. Last week, jihadists had briefly seized control of Boni before Malian security forces drove them out with the help of UN peacekeepers. Since intervening in 2012 following a separatist jihadist insurgency, Malian and international forces continue to be the target of extremist attacks, especially in the center and the north of the country. Here in Paris, the African Diaspora International Film Festival opens this Friday after a first stint in Washington, D.C. The festival saw the day in 1993, and since then it's grown just as African cinema has also expanded, with more and more countries producing films. The goal of the festival is to explore issues concerning Africans and the African diaspora through their own lens. Issues that include identity, culture, language, and race. U.S. filmmaker Rachelle Salnave was our guest earlier. Her documentary Belle Vie, The Good Life, captures her journey back to her roots in Haiti. She started by telling us why she felt the desire to take a closer look at her family's home country.
The media has done an awful job at portraying Haiti in a very negative light. And while although that many of the things such as corruption, poverty, and all of these problems have occurred and still occur in Haiti, that there's never this other side of Haiti, this beautiful side of Haiti of course, the landscape, unknown parts of Haiti, not just Port-au-Prince, because, you know, when the media talks about Haiti, they normally just go right to the center of Port-au-Prince, but never venture to other areas like Jacmel or Jérémie, which is very green in that area. So in any case, with all of that, it really hurt me as a kid. Growing up in the 80s in New York City, you know, Haitians were the ones, well, the CDC said Haitians were the ones that brought in HIV along with the heterosexuals and the heroin addicts. Yeah, so we were the like 3 H's.
Right.
And I think in society, there's always a new group that is like the target. You know, now it's like the Muslims that are the target. Whereas in the 80s, it was the Haitians. So as a kid, I hid my identity. And I was really like, you know, in middle school, kind of not ashamed to say I was Haitian, but just wanted to belong with the group and with society and in the society that I lived in, which was in America, New York.
Your film has one title that is in 2 languages, La Belle Vie, The Good Life. Tell us more about the role of language in your quest, because there's English, there's French, but there's also Haitian Creole.
Yeah, 3 languages, English, French, and Haitian Creole, which is an embodiment of who I am as a diaspora of Haiti and the Creole, the mélange, the mix, which is very important because those are the three languages that I grew up with. And growing up in New York, primarily, it was very difficult because my mom also had identity issues, not wanting to speak Creole, only wanting to speak French because she grew up in France at an early age. So there was a lot of complexity there, dealing with language and identity.
That's the end of this edition. Do stay tuned. There's more news coming up on France 24. Thanks for watching.